Hello everyone, this is Remlace from 40k Theories, and welcome to the June 2020 edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As always, if you would like your questions answered, then click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Now, let's jump into the questions. Aspertese asks, do you dabble with necrophilic activities? No. No, why would you ask that? No. Voice of the Emperor asks, are the Black Templars the most insane but confirmed canonical loyalist Adeptus Astartes chapter in the Imperium? No, that's either the Minotaurs or the Flesh Tearers. Would you ever consider saving up to purchase or build a gaming PC? Gaming a laptop? Possibly. Unfortunately I don't have the room right now for a gaming desktop, as much as that would probably be better and cheaper. But I don't have the room, so it'll have to be a laptop if I do get one, and I do want one at some point, yes. Pentadeuce asks, how much would it affect the Imperium at large if a secret legion of Thunder Warriors were to wage war on the Imperium? An entire legion of Thunder Warriors would wreck shit up, to put it bluntly, because in one of the Horus Heresy Black books it was something like 50 Thunder Warriors against 300 World Eaters, and the Thunder Warriors kicked the ever-loving shit out of the World Eaters. So if 50 Thunder Warriors, and this is a rough estimate, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but it was something to that effect. If that fewer number can wreck the crap out of that many Space Marines, imagine an entire legion. The Ginger Lord asks, is it possible the reason Mortarion is for the most part free of Nurgle's corruption is because he has earned the favour of Isha? I'm not entirely sure because, well, he was mostly free of corruption in Dark Imperium, the first one, especially with Silence being completely pristine. Buried Dagger and the Siege of Terra novels have appeared to rectify this somewhat, so I'm not sure if he is actually mostly free of corruption anymore. Brandon A asks, we all know that the Chaos Gods have sacred numbers. Who is number 10, since 6, 7, 8, 9 and 11 all belong to a Chaos God? Let's see, 6 Slaanesh, 7 Nurgle, 8 Core, 9 Tzeentch, 11 Malice, 13 Horned Rat, 10 I think it could be Hashut. I vaguely remember something about Hashut's sacred number being 10, but I don't remember where I read that, so take that with a grain of salt, it might not be true. Brent Feast asks, if Necrons are going to be the main antagonist of 40k, do you think they'll get more races added to a greater Necron faction like Imperium, Chaos and Eldari, or do you think they'll have the one codex? Probably the one codex if I'm honest. I don't see them having like a Dynasties book, because let's be honest, a lot of Necron dynasties seem very homogenous, very samey, so I don't know how you'd really go about doing that, codex wise. Have Necron Pariahs been completely retconned out of existence? If they have, it's purely through a mission, and that's a very, very, very weak way of retconning something, because it does leave the door open at some point in time to bring them back. So the sad thing is, we haven't had anything reference them apart from the Dawn of War games, since, the big Necron retcon. I really don't want to say they've been retconned, but at the same time it looks like they have, but only for a mission, so yes but no, but maybe but no, but yes. If that makes sense. What are the top 5 most ridiculous things you've read in a CS Goto novel? You really expect me to sit down and read an entire CS Goto novel? You crazy, man, you crazy. Chief Surgeon asks, Necron lore is bad as well as inconsistent, and that's a very nice way of putting it. This is true. What do you think of minor events like the Dynasty of the Headless Emperor or the Bone Kingdom? I really like the idea of the Bone Kingdom, like an entire world populated by flayers. I think that's a really cool idea, and I do want to see that expanded in the story at some point. Zero Hits asks, do you have any particular opinions on the Obliterator virus, or have you ever heard of it being used by other beings apart from Space Marines? I don't think it's been used by anyone other than Chaos. As for my opinion on it, it's alright I guess. Ivor Biggin asks, would you rather be taken to Komorra alive or be stuck in the warp? Stuck in the warp, you have a chance of escaping. What is your favourite Warhammer YouTube channel? Gotta give a shout out to my boy Alphabusa, the Swedish Forest Seal. Lucanron asks, could Lucius the Eternal theoretically be destroyed by someone who wouldn't take satisfaction in killing him? That's pretty much the only way you can kill him, because the way his resurrection abilities work is he possesses whoever feels pride in killing him. Or if it was an inanimate object such as a landmine, he'd possess whoever took pride in building it. Do you believe that part of Horus Lupercal's soul exists, given the incident with the clone of him remembering Abaddon? I did a video about this actually. 2 in fact, check them out. How do you feel about a far-fetched theory that humans are just degenerated Eldari, and that the Eldari are too ashamed to admit it? It's certainly far-fetched. I don't see that happening because there are far too many biological differences internally. You know, humans and Eldari do share a superficially similar appearance, but aside from that, that's all they have. Their internal biology is, much more advanced than humans and quite different. The Evil Scotsman asks, I know the Emperor had real children, but what about the Primarchs? Could they even have kids? This is something that's never really been touched upon. The de facto answer would appear to be no, but the closest thing we have to this is in regards to Primarch marriage. Now we know that Fulgrim was married multiple times prior to being returned to the Emperor. This is shown in the novel Palatine Phoenix, where he discusses his multiple partners and how he outlived them all. Now, since he was married at some point, one would imagine that he would have to have consummated these marriages, depending upon, I forget if Chemos was a forged world or if it was a feudal world or some combination of the two, but if it was a feudal world, he probably would have to consummate it. Someone would probably have to sit there and watch going, alright big boy, get busy. But aside from that, in regards to kids, I'm gonna say no at this point. Parker asks, are Eldari Farseers like Aspect Warriors in that they are forever trapped upon the path of the Seer? I know this was the case in the older codices. In the older codices, they were effectively the Seer equivalent of Exarchs. Whether that's true in the current codex, I'm not entirely sure. I can't imagine them retconning that, but then again, this is GW, so they probably have at some point as well, so at the very least, they were, yes. Brother Santodes asks, is it true that side cannon rounds are made from the ashes of Psykers fed to the Golden Throne? From what I understand, they are made from the waste products generated by the Golden Throne. So take that however you want to see it, essentially, because it could mean the ashes of Psykers, it could mean the Emperor's own poo. So, depending on how you look at it, when an Inquisitor shoots a side cannon round at a demon, they are either shooting the ashes of Psykers, or they're shooting the Emperor's own poo at them. And you thought Nurgle was disgusting. That guy asks, can Nurgle cause cancer? Seeing as he is the god of disease, I would assume so. Kenju22 asks, would a rogue trader with a properly worded warrant of trade be able to overrule a Lord Inquisitor's judgment against them? I sincerely doubt it, considering that Inquisitors don't answer to anyone but the Emperor, in theory at least, and not even the High Lords of Terror are above their scrutiny. I can't imagine a rogue trader essentially overruling an Inquisitor, especially if a rogue trader does something, highly heretical, because, an Inquisitor can turn around and say, you violated the Emperor's trust in your house and your bloodline, and therefore you are an even worse traitor and must be punished, blah. So, yeah, that's my feeling at least. And finally, Albrick asks, between Chaos, the Necrons, and the Tyranids, which do you think poses the greatest threat to intelligent life in the galaxy? I'd have to go with the Nids, purely on the basis that there's a never-ending supply of them. Through attrition alone, they'll wipe everything out, I feel. If a Tesseract Vault was big enough, could it fit an entire star system? It would have to be a bloody big vault. This goes back to whether it's, the pocket dimension or subspace theory or whatever, but in theory, you could potentially fit a star system. In theory. Whether it's been done in practice, I don't know. And that concludes this edition of the Patreon Q&A sessions. As always, if you would like your questions answered, then click the link in the video description below and help support the channel by becoming a patron. Until next time, this has been Remlace from 40k Theories, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye!